The African American community faces unique financial challenges. Blacks are more likely to accumulate debt, and according to a study by Prudential, credit card debt, student loans, and personal loans are significantly higher in the African American community than the general population. So here's the question. How can financial literacy improve these trends? For the next few minutes, we'll discuss. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum, and I'm joined by Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, Democrat from Ohio and member of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. Congresswoman, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Robert. Excited to be here.
So here's what we know. We know that the economy is still limping along from the Great Recession of 2008. We know that more and more Americans, unfortunately, have to put their mortgage or their car payment on their credit card, or maybe just their grocery bills, just to make ends meet. But in the African American community, people that look like you and I, it's much, much harder. Why?
Well, it's harder because we start behind the eight ball in the beginning. When you look at the disparities and a whole host of things that are tied to financial services, thus financial literacy being very important, thus the Congressional Black Caucus and the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation working together to make sure that we host training and workshops, that we bring young African Americans into our offices as interns and on scholarships so they can learn firsthand to be educated, to have the awareness of the trouble that credit cards can get you into as a student. For our non-emerging leaders and our older individuals who participate in our legislative conference, which I'd like to say is coming up soon.
In September here in Washington, D.C.
25th through the 27th.
Is that open to the public, Congresswoman?
It is. There is a registration, and we invite people from across the country to come. Some 9,000 plus people register, some 70 workshops, many of them dealing with how to survive in our communities. I'm hosting a workshop on Thursday, the 25th, September, that will deal with financial management and wealth building across generations. We'll certainly talk about money management, and you can't exclude financial literacy when you do that. The foundation is huge on working with students, having a new program they're going to roll out. It will be website-based, and our public can dial in and present questions like this.
So just to recap for our viewers at home that are watching the program, this is a workshop or a series of workshops that you can participate in. It is open to the public right here in Washington, D.C., and the dates again are September
25th through the 27th.
And one of those pieces, Congresswoman, as you mentioned a few moments ago, is raising the awareness, if you will, in the community that, quite frankly, you're empowered. You should be empowered to read that fine print, to understand what you're signing, and thus in the process, look, it's the American dream. It's about building wealth.
It is. It's about building wealth. It's about being educated on a whole host of topics that all contribute to building wealth. If we don't decrease our juvenile delinquency, the number of people who are incarcerated, if we don't talk about housing and how to decrease foreclosures, if we don't talk about our civil rights, our voting rights, this is the 50th anniversary celebration of some of the key foundation points for African Americans.
Specifically the civil rights.
The civil rights. 50th
piece of legislation that Lyndon Johnson signed into law.
Freedom Summer, War on Poverty. And we're right at the foothill of also looking at the voters' rights next year for the 50th anniversary. So we have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to empower folks who look like you and I. And I'm proud to say, being a member of the Congressional Black Caucus and being part of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation's annual legislative conference week as the co-chair is huge, not only to me, our organizations, but to America.
There you go. Well said. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And thank you for joining us for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Robert Trainum. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.